Good afternoon and hello. This is Nate Pilate. I'm Chief of Business Development. You might be familiar with my voice if you're already a client of mine. If so, this is your chance to associate a beautiful voice with an ugly face. I'm just kidding. But moving forward, the reason I wanted to shoot this video really quickly is to impart upon you best practices that are going to be very important for you to execute during my program. And in working with my firm, you know the intent here. The intent is to remove derogatory items from your credit report. That is the sole intent here, of course, to get you to or to surpass the goal score needed to qualify for your mortgage. Very simple. However, some of my most successful clients, those that end up in the 700s and 800s club, I mean, why go to a 620 when you can get to a 640, or 700, 720, etc. The higher your score is, the more, of course, the better rate you're going to get on your mortgage, and ultimately that leads to you potentially saving tens of thousands of dollars over the life of your loan. So I don't know who that wouldn't sound good to, but you might need your head checked if it doesn't. I'm just kidding. Moving forward, a couple best practices I want to talk about. If you've spoken with me already, you likely know the importance of things like card utilization. I'm going to drive some of those points home right now. So first off, for some of you, the problem may be that not only do you have derogatory items on your credit, but also you don't have much positive credit. So right now, kind of think of your score as a scale. Your derogatory items are going to counterbalance anything you might have positive. So deletion, of course, is the alleviation of that negative pressure on your positive credit. So what's important when deletions start happening? I'm talking about 2, 3, 4 weeks into my process. Once you start seeing deletions, it's important that you execute the following. One of my mentors always used to say, timing is more important than talent, right? So when you first start getting a couple deletions, what's important? Okay, for those of you that do not have any credit cards whatsoever, it's important that you get one immediately, okay? Now, some of you are in a position in which you might only qualify for a secured credit card. No problem, get a secured credit card. I prefer, early on when I first got my first secured card, when I was rebuilding my credit, I went with Wells Fargo. Why? My personal bank. It was really easy to make credit card payments through the app, the bank app on my phone. That's a great way to go. If not, through an app like Credit Karma, they'll offer recommendations on secured cards. In any case, get a secured card if that's what you can qualify for. You will, of course, have to put forth the cash to secure the card. That's why it's called a secured card. You can expect a secured card to be anywhere from $200, $300 unless you want to have a higher limit, then maybe put some more money into it. So whether you have a secured card or an unsecured card, what's really important here is credit utilization, okay? So credit utilization, the way I conceptualize it, pretty simple, is the creditor wants to see that you need credit, but you don't need it desperately, and that you use it, but you don't use it frivolously. So utilization is the way that you show you are creditworthy and you can be trusted with credit. Now, what do I mean? Let's say you have a card with a limit of $1,000, right? So $1,000, the proper utilization rate, meaning your balance in relation to your limit, is always going to be, rule of thumb, 10 to 30% is safe. That's good. Optimal, 7 to 10%. So what does that mean? That means out of $1,000, your balance should never reflect more than between $70 and $100, okay? But anywhere in the range from $100 to $300, you're still doing good. So that's where you want to be. Now, of course, you still want to, and what I mean by the balance or that utilization rate, that's the balance that you carry month over month, okay? So it's important that you use your card, you make your normal monthly payments, but you leave a remaining balance, or you carry the balance of between 7 to 10% optimally, no more than 30%. So that's how you start actually getting a great score. If you do that on 2, 3, 4 cards, oh my gosh, that's how people get into the 700s and 800s club. Congratulations. 2 or 3 cards, 3, 4 cards, all with proper utilization, you're doing really well. So now, once again, the timing. You want to execute these measures once you start getting deletions, once you start having collections come off, charge-off balances removed. If you got a wrongful foreclosure, once you see that thing gone, boom, get your secured card, right? So next tip I'm going to impart upon you is going to be authorized user. Okay. Now, this is a nice little shortcut, but it's important that you do your due diligence beforehand. I want you to look at the pros and cons of authorized user on a credit card. So what is authorized user? And you might want to research this further, okay? But authorized user essentially is if you have a friend or a family member, somebody you trust. You got to trust them, okay? First off, when you have someone you trust that has an established line of credit, a credit card, and they add you simply as an authorized user. Now, you don't necessarily have to get a card of your own attached to their account, or they don't necessarily have to let you use the card. But what happens is they do add you to the card as an authorized user. Now, what happens there is you actually inherit the history of that account, that trade line, and it shows up on your credit. Now, that's a really good improvement. That's almost like getting another card of your own, which sometimes can be like a 30 to 40 point increase. So that's a good measure to take. However, what you want to make sure of is that whoever's account you're being added to, make sure they are practicing proper credit utilization. Once again, 7 to 10% utilization rate, that's optimal. You're still doing well if you're between 10 and 30%. Try never to surpass that. So other than that, executing these measures has led to the success of a lot of my clients. I mean, I had one earlier last week that actually did both. He not only got a secured card, but also his wife added him as an authorized user, and I think it was like a month and a half. But there was a mixture of other stuff going on. Remember, this is a concerted effort. If you really want optimal results, deletions, that's going to be the meat and potatoes. But if you're doing what you can on your end, I mean, that's going to catapult you far beyond where you need to be. And in my opinion, it's better to exceed expectations than just slightly meet them, right? It's better to pass it up with great distance. That's what I'm after. So anyway, this client, he not only got a secured card, had some deletions going on derogatories, great, but also his wife added him as authorized user. On his Equifax, it increased by 201 points. On his Experian, on his TransUnion, I think it was like 160. I mean, insane. I mean, think about seeing that jump in your credit score in a month and a half. That's what happens when you follow great advice, okay? So, yeah, if you're a client of mine, give me a call. If not, don't ever call me. I'm just kidding. But this is Nate Pilate, once again, Chief of Business Development, 818-501-9786, or you can always email me directly if you have my email. I won't tell you it in this video because I think I'm going to put this on social media as well. So, other than that, take great care. God bless, and cheers. Toast to your credit score improving.